Happy World Home Economics Day, everyone. And to clarify, this is not a Hallmark holiday, but a genuine celebration of the amazing work home economics teachers do around the world. This presentation, with your help, aims to reach far and wide, transcending the limitations of distance, language, and culture across the globe. So please like, share, and subscribe to BeeYou Education. My aim is to ask you to ponder your purpose as a practitioner of education and how you play your part of helping shape tomorrow's generations of students. I recently presented at the National HEAR conference in Australia, advocating for change in our subject, but not in the way you would think. I'm here today to continue a campaign I wholeheartedly believe in. The truth is, I'm here to affirm you, your practice, your position in the home economics education of your students. I'm here to help flip the potent misconceptions and wrongful perceptions of home economics as perceived by other teachers, students, and parents, and how I have been trying to facelift the feelings around this fantastic subject. In a nutshell, I want you all today, of all days, to be armed and ready to help those around us professionally and personally to understand the world we Home Eccies live in and why our subject is so awesome and yet so overlooked. I feel very privileged to have the opportunity to connect with home economists from around the world and educators who share in the same educational values and a love for teaching as I do. So thank you for listening, and let's get down to business. I love telling stories using metaphors and analogies. I'm just going to use potatoes and butterflies to help tell this one. It has a point, so bear with me and enjoy. There are many ways to achieve cooking a potato. There are the basics, the C graders of the potato world: mashed, boiled, roasted, baked, fried. Easy, satisfactory, will do the job. Then there are the creative ways, the B graders, who push the boundary of cookery a little further: chipped, wedged, hasselbacked, and sautéed. Then there are the exotic ways, the A graders, the ones that put a unique spin on things and upcycle the potato to curry it, bubble and squeak it, soup it, fuse it, sauce it, transform it into gnocchi and dumplings. Then there are the A+ potato achievers. You've all seen the hit movie The Martian, right? You know, the one with Matt Damon. Yes, Matt, we're on a first-name basis, flew to another planet, learnt how to grow the potato in the most unlikely of regions, in the strangest of conditions, with limited resources, and managed to survive and imagine new possibilities for how to keep the potato an interesting vegetable to survive, thrive, and live. The truth is, our subject is amazing. Like an onion, it's multi-layered, adds dynamic, boosts flavour, can be added to anything, and has the ability to make you cry. The once had be C graders can quickly be pushed out of coasting and onto more exciting things with a touch of seasoning and a whole heap of inspiration. The truth is, our subject can bridge gaps across curriculum areas and enrich the lives of students in ways they and others never saw possible. Food technology, or even food and hospitality, can be the beating heart of a student's education, as it basically supplies, nurtures and feeds other aspects of our students' learning. It's a boots on the ground, real life way of learning on the job. It requires the use of creative language, maths, ICT and tech, science, physics, chemistry and biology, art and design, geography and history, business and innovation, not to mention embracing value issues relating to culture, religion, ethics and sustainability. Yes, no wonder you're all sat there exhausted. You teach everything. You integrate everything. Yes, you are the drill sergeant with all the earthly sweetness of Betty Crocker or Maggie Beer, breeze and charm of Ainsley Harriott and Nigella Lawson, and the fiery wrath of Gordon Ramsay and Marco Pierre White. You embody an array of culinary talents, 1,000,001 different classroom control techniques, a playbook of behaviour management strategies, and the ability to teach your heart out. Your vision, my vision, our collective vision as an extended family of fellow food teachers is to create an educational environment which is always inclusive, always supportive, and always accessible, so that all students that grace our classrooms with their presence are able to embrace their education, their beliefs, and their interests, which allow them to enjoy school life and take with them key skills that will later support them in their adulthood. We can enable them to push beyond what they thought they were capable of. The beauty of teaching in our subject area is that we can make it so that our students' learning journey is unique and individualized, tailor-made and differentiated. As an educator, I truly believe children are capable of anything if given the right tools. Those tools aren't necessarily resource-based, but pillars of faith, confidence, creativity, and a strong sense of belonging. We give them hope, faith, and belief to work on themselves, their talents, their abilities, and in process turn them into achievers. Sleeves rolled up, Fitbit ready to walk the equivalent of half a marathon around the classroom. We facilitate this achievement process. So, where am I heading with this? You are all here because you want to be better for your students, because you value professional development and understand the importance of our subject, because the world is constantly changing and we are facing the wave of Education 3.0. So, if we understand that, why can't others see it? I cannot count the number of times in the past, and I've been teaching for 15 years, that I've heard, take food, it's easy. Don't take food, it will scale down your university scores. Take food, you will get to eat for free. Or dishearteningly, only the dumb kids take food. And that's just the parents' and the students' perception. Somehow, we've got a bad rap. And I'm not talking about the questionable sandwich left in the fridge from Friday's PD buffet and now it's Monday. I'm talking about the fact that we compete with PE for being the cop-out, drop-out subject. The actual truth is, parents are happy for their kids to explore foods in years 8, 9, maybe even year 10. After all, they all need to learn how to make dinner and not burn the house down. But then we get to a sticking point. The assumption of, what else could you possibly teach my kid? Or if the student is asking, me. I know how to turn on the stove and the oven. I know what a frying pan is and a whisk. What more do I need to learn? For some, this might be all they wanted to get from you. For others, this gave them a one-dimensional look at what food has to offer them. Today, we dig deeper into the other 4 dimensions of food and reveal that food isn't about feeding faces and the home of the hungry hormonal teenager anymore. Those ideologies need to be left in the past where they belong, because there is more to us than just baking cupcakes, biscuits, and mac and cheese. We add value. Change takes time. Change moves with us. Slowly and steady wins the race. But racing in life? There is no finish line. Just different scenery. Just like Forrest Gump, you have to keep running, resting, and moving on to the next day. Our goal: we need to excite kids earlier and reset the mindset around food. Show them the value of how we can supply them with that epic toolbox I talked about earlier, and then maybe we can collectively change any warped perceptions and misconceptions. We need to start at year 12 and work backwards so we can look at what our students need to know, understand, and be afforded to enable them to stretch and flex those creative muscles and get the most from us. We need to first get students to see the value of what we do so that they can show their family. We need our colleagues to see the value of what we can do so they can champion us on at subject counselling. Changing the mindset, that's our goal. That's the 3.0, changing mindset. How do we do it? We must first teach our colleagues and ourselves of our value and importance in the lives of all our students. Show them our true and never-ending value. World Home Economics 3.0 envisions a paradigm shift in making students more adaptable, responsive, and learner-centric. I agree. But the paradigm doesn't necessarily mean we are trying to reinvent what we do, but help others view and wholeheartedly embrace the fact that we are already doing this. We have been doing it for years. Home economics has always been the driver of change. We just need more supporters in the car with us. Before I clarify my point, let me help you to dig deep into what it means to not only be a teacher, but a teacher in our faculty. The title, teacher, is the least important part of the job. Why? Because it's just a name given to a role that is far greater than its appellation. Who we are will be completely different to every beating heart that enters our classrooms. What they will take away from you will also be different. Who we are is in the eyes and hearts of our students. If we only focus on our title for a moment and check out what it means to be a teacher, the Cambridge Dictionary spits out this definition: someone whose job it is to teach in a school or college. Okay, we can all agree with that statement. It's objective, a bit like it's raining or the sky is blue. It's a factual statement that we can all agree with. The American Dictionary circumscribes a similar message: a person who instructs or trains others, especially in a school. Again, it's another one of those "the ice cream is cold" statements. What both fail to purvey is the subjective. Objective sticks to the facts. Subjective is loaded with feelings and emotion, and that's the heart of what I'm trying to reach today, every day. What does it mean to be us? Who are we? Who are you? You are more than just a title. Throughout time, in its most clinical form, a school teacher has been viewed as a person who delivers knowledge and administers tests, both objective and true. A gatekeeper of knowledge, resources, and time. But that still seems pretty cold-hearted, right? So let's dive deeper. To do so, let's first look at our students. Each student you teach is a representative of the future that has yet to be decided, that you get the privilege of shaping and forming. Each student is the future of humankind. When you next teach a class, stand silently and observe. Watch everyone walk in, take their seat, unpack their stationery, or not in the case of those who need constant reminding. Just stand and watch. Maintain eye contact with the room. Say nothing. Your presence is powerful. The mental incubation period you give to the silence will mean that everyone will engage you. Just give it time. Whilst you give them the time, without them knowing the weight of this thought, look. You are looking directly at the future. There it is, right there. The ones chatting away to the person sitting next to them. The persistent gum chewer who knows you are about to silently offer the waste paper bin for them to spit it out into. The class clown whose wisecracks make you cry with laughter on the inside, but you cannot show a glint of a smile. The kid that gives you the glassy look because they went to bed at 3 a.m. due to gaming or persistent Snapchatting. The one who's involved in every school activity, that just arrived from debate club and will leave in 15 to 20 minutes for their trombone lesson. the docile one who would prefer you didn't notice their existence so that they can fly under the radar and not have you call upon them to answer a question. The larger-than-life person that will ask you 1,000,000 questions completely irrelevant to what they're about to learn. Then there's the chair leaners, the phone addicts, and the Googlers who will angle their devices away from you as if you weren't born yesterday and know exactly what they're doing. The note passers who are doing it electronically via Teams rather than the old-fashioned way on paper. The anxiety-riddled ones who tortured themselves the night before over every piece of homework. And the persistent doodlers who often are responsible for the floral adornments in the corner of the textbook. Then there's the easy A students who effortlessly can turn their hand to any field of study and make it look like a breeze. Then there's the secret studiers that have already downloaded the lesson content and have half finished the work you will set online for the day and will ask for more. You know them all. Why? My students are your students too. If you stand and wait for long enough, they will realise you are there. The wait is great. There's no shouting, rallying or persuading. It will result in higher engagement throughout your lesson too. Silence will eventually fall upon the classroom as each person is looking for what comes next. Now, don't get me wrong, it will hold for about 5 seconds before the class clown makes a crack about you being frozen at the front, but as the laughter subsides, you will have their attention. They appreciated you not yelling. You can hide that tool away for when it really needs to be used. So why did our deep dive involve us having to look at our students to understand more about who we are as home economics teachers? Well, you already answered your own question by knowing your students. Who you are is the person they, for that moment, are looking to for direction. The smile, the acknowledgement, the hello, the waste paper bin. You made yourself present for them. Who you are is the next step forward on their journey. You are in a position today, every day, to make a significant influence, to inspire. All teachers are different. We all have our own mixture of qualities, but it is our individuality that makes us special. Each teacher is different, but nearly every memorable teacher has a combination of essential qualities such as a devotion for their field of study. I love food. Passion that they simply cannot fake or hide. A sense of humour and a genuine pleasure when your students aim high and achieve. Grace and kindness. Who you are is an improver of lives. You have the power to set an example, illuminate and inspire, light up the darkest of minds. So, next time your stampede of kids rush in for your next practical, just say to yourself, I'm going to make a difference to the lives of these students today, no matter how small, insignificant, conscious or unconscious. I'm about to make a memory. I'm about to make an impact. Because not only are you going to be the someone whose job it is to teach in a school or college, you are about to advance, guide, and shape humankind, the future. And here is where I clarify my point from earlier. It's not an accident that home economics has the word home in it. We offer a second home away from theirs. The kitchen environment is unlike any others in school. The classroom etiquette, discipline, and rules are grossly different to math and English, and the movement around the classroom requires regulations, systems, and policies, and above all, respect. Next time you're trying to affirm and defend our subject to a student, a parent, or a colleague, just remember you're an asset to the students becoming better human beings, be that academically, morally, ethically, spiritually, or personally. Every day, you unpack a toolbox that will bestow the power for them to become better people, better problem solvers, critical thinkers, innovators and designers, time managers, planners and organisers. You put them under pressure to perform and place a massive emphasis on respect for their learning environment. You teach them to look after things, be clean, tidy and recycle. We literally teach everything. Mums and dads away from home, please always remember your presence in a student's life adds value to theirs. You and they just don't realise it until much later when they're 30 and remember something you said or did. I proudly teach at Carlie College in Noarlunga Downs. Our demographic of kids vary. My students' lives and backgrounds outside of school, I don't see demographics. Pastorally, I have to make special provisions, but all I see when they walk in is a bunch of impressionable young souls that came together to enjoy in a subject that they asked to be in. If they asked to be there, then they all get the same time, attention and opportunities. However, it is critical to note that they are all in that classroom for different reasons. It is my job to see what they want from their experience and where they want to go with it. I don't want to ever push an agenda that they didn't ask for. Butterflies. They were a huge fascination and talking point in my house with my daughter when she was little. She used to say that the white ones haven't yet been painted and are waiting for someone to give them their colour. I always thought that this was a very simple yet profound way for a preschooler to view the world, her world, our world. Whilst pondering this sweet notion one day whilst driving to school, I had this sudden thought of, wow, this is our job as educators. How equally tremendous, terrific, and terrifying. My journey to work that day suddenly became weightier, and all because I allowed an innocent-minded child to teach me. Here is where I make my point. As home economics teachers, our time with our students is fleeting. We have a job to do, and there is no time to waste, to dwell, to doubt, undersell, or underaffirm the importance of what we do and what we can offer. Home economics is a wealthy and strong hub to offer kids a four-dimensional look at the world and help them realise who they are in that world. Our role is to help our students realise their purpose. How else will they know how far they can fly unless someone guides them to learn how to spread their wings and actually fly? And that's where we come in. We get to help them find their true essence, and by definition, metamorphosis and transformation occurs. What we start with is not what we end up with. The student who enters our class, our kitchen, our hearts and our minds is not the same one who exits. They become different. Their time as caterpillars expire when they reach high school, and we as teachers help them to paint their unique wings they one day get to gift unto the world. Your mark, however you make it as a teacher or an ESO, your mark will last their whole lifetime, whether you ever realise it or not. Everything you do today, tomorrow, next year has a butterfly effect. Your mark will impact those in your classroom and every life that connects to theirs thereafter. In drawing this talk to a close, I leave you with this request. I ask that you see your students' potato possibilities and realise they are all coming to you for something that they will take with them for the rest of their lives. Know that you are mentoring them in other realms of their education and personal life, and importantly teaching them life skills that will keep being paid forward in a butterfly effect motion. Affirm your position in your students' lives every day and defend our wonderful subject to those who sell us as a cop-out, drop-out subject. I always wanted so much from life, right from a tender age. I was artistic and creative, and my head would often be found in the clouds until my logic yanked me down to earth again. I was a dreamer that needed direction. Compromise was my friend. The voice of compromise was my home economics teacher. If it hadn't have been for her investment in me as a human being, not just a student, I wouldn't have made it halfway around the world to Australia teaching what I love. She believed in me, and thus I started to believe in myself. Her disciplines, methodologies, and approaches resonated with me. She woke something up. It was called purpose. She didn't give it to me. She encouraged me to find it. And thus, her butterfly effect keeps going today. If only she knew her true impact. And I was just one of hundreds, heck, thousands of students. Her effect has led me here today. So remember, every person here is helping to change the world by helping shape the future. We are all riding the same wave of change, global change. Life is an ongoing lesson. When school ends, you don't stop being learners ever. We are all continuing to change and learn how to adapt to life. Home economics affords students the skills required to craft and perfect the ability and resilience needed to cope, thrive, and survive for the rest of their lives. Remember, every one of your students is a representative of a future untold, a story unfolding. So let's teach them how to ride the wave and adapt when the wave changes. It's a gift, a privilege, an honour, and a purpose for us to help with this process. Who you are as home economics teachers is in the hearts, minds, and butterfly wings of your students. When you log off today and head back to school, remember, teaching home economics isn't just a job. Teaching home economics is a mission. That mission to get as many butterflies up in the air as possible, to make this world more resilient, adaptable, harmonious, colourful, optimistic and exciting, and in turn making the future a more beautiful place to embrace. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I really hope that I've resonated with you today and that you feel more valued in our beautiful subject that our students need in their lives. Happy World Home Economics Day.